Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Jay. Week number 2, which is actually kind of like my first video because the first video that I did last week was, like an introductory video. Who I was. Snot is running down my nose. We're gonna go again for sure. Hey, what's up guys? It's your boy Jay. Welcome back. Week number 2, which is kind of like week number 1 really because the first video that I posted was really an introductory video. Introduction to me, what I was going to talk about in this new channel, the type of content that you'd see, me begging for you to subscribe, like, and comment. So it was all very introductory, and this week's video is going to be video number 1. And as a disclaimer, I don't have 10,000 hours of motivational speaking. I didn't study this in school. I've just been told by people that I motivate them, that I inspire you. So the purpose of this is not for you to take anything that I say, walk into your job, and quit your job and then say that Jamie said. Jamie did not say to do that. Jamie's going to tell you about how many jobs Jamie's been fired from and or quit, and you can take Jamie's experience to help your life. But please don't do anything that's going to get you in trouble with your employer. I don't want anybody to get divorced because of me. That's not good. That's not good for, well, mostly you, but I don't want that on my conscience. So take it with a pinch of salt. What is it?
Grain of salt.
Grain of salt. Take it with a grain or a pinch of salt. A small amount of salt is basically what I'm saying here. So, what many of you may not know that just met me via social media is my very, very first job at probably 6 years old is I used to impersonate Michael Jackson, whom to this day I miss dearly. I used to get paid to impersonate Michael Jackson, so I did birthday parties, weddings, community events. I would compete. In Toronto, there's this competition at the X called Rising Stars. Excuse me. That should not make it in the video. In Toronto, there's a video? What? Am I drunk? In Toronto at the CNE, the X as we call it, there's a competition called the Rising Stars competition. Everybody there can speak for the most part. Fast forward, I had a paper route. I think I was about 10 or 11, which really sucked because you have to deliver the papers for the most part before people are awake. And then a couple years later, I really realized I really love music. My father used to DJ. My mom had a ton of his old equipment, and I started buying records, making mixtapes. I would sell 60-minute mixtapes for $5, 90-minute mixtapes, cassettes. Actually, you know what? Hold on. I'm gonna go get one. All right, check this out. Wow. Okay, cool. We're gonna go again. Closer, closer. There. DJ Blackout. DJ Blackout. Actually, there's even this. You had my contact info in there and a pretty girl. Is that there? Can you see that? Yeah. Legit. I'm talking, a cassette went in this, okay? My very first DJ name was actually DJ Chocolate DEELITE. Yeah. Chocolate DEELITE. DJ'd for a number of years. That was in Toronto, and we moved out to Maple Ridge, British Columbia. Now, if you are from Ridge and you're watching this, what up? If you're from anywhere else, honestly, there's nothing to look up. There's nothing interesting to look up. And when I moved out here, my very first job out here was washing dishes at the Keg. Yeah, I wash dishes. I hate washing dishes, but for some reason decided that washing dishes for money was going to be something that I should do, which didn't last long. And then I worked at a store called London Drugs. Fast forward a bit, I was running track and field. So at the time I was, talking to various scouts at the various universities to go to school in the States on a track scholarship. But in a race, I blew out my hamstring and then had to basically stay here for a year to do whatever until I healed up, and then I would go down to the States the next year. I worked at a store called Below the Belt. So I started off as just like customer service, and I moved to assistant manager. That's right, your boy was the assistant manager. After that, I was DJing. So I started DJing out here, and at one of the clubs I DJed at, it was called Tommy's, and his name is Justin Strange, who went on to be my mentor. Once I made a little bit of money, he got me into real estate. So at 19, I bought my first 2 places. So while I was, investing in real estate, I was also going to school. And in 2004, I was hit by a drunk driver and almost killed. And this girl crossed 4 lanes of traffic and hit us head on. And it was pretty bad. We were both hospitalized for some time, had a lot of injuries. I went back to school, finished that up, and then I got a job working at Rogers Wireless. So I worked at Rogers Wireless for a bit as like a customer service rep, did quite well, got promoted to manager. After working at Rogers, I moved on to TD Canada Trust, and was at TD Canada Trust for about a year to a year and a half. And while I was at TD Canada Trust, I realized that all of my experiences had led me to this moment where I was ready to, own an active business myself. Like for me to be the boss, and like take this small business that I started with the real estate and make it bigger. So I left the bank, bought my very first convenience store, and then kept going. Bought the second, bought the third, bought the fourth, while still buying some real estate. One day I woke up and was like, I want to act. I was born to be an entertainer, and I woke up that morning, I popped up out of bed, and I just knew that today's the day. So I went downtown and I called my realtor, Ron. What up, Ron? Ron Anselek. And I said, hey, Ron, man, like, how are you? Good. Listen, I want to sell it all. And he said, well, may I ask why? And I said, yeah, I want to be an actor. Cue laughter. So, I had amassed a bunch of real estate over the course of a short amount of time. So to him, of course, that made no sense. Why would I sell this all to be an actor? That doesn't make any sense. And he's right, it didn't make any sense. But it's what I did. Life is like, okay, at my house, this house, my roof needed to be replaced. But I had loaned this guy a lot of money, and then he never paid it back. And it hurt me financially. And there was a point where my roof was leaking at my house and I couldn't afford to fix it. So what I had to do was I had to get roofing companies to come and basically just like put a tarp on the roof. I couldn't afford the emotion of embarrassment because I had no other option. I had no choice. I didn't have the $6,000 to replace the roof. I just didn't have it. And all I could do was, have them come, they would hammer it into the shingles, they'd put this big orange tarp or blue tarp, and then back to orange. There was a leak in a bathroom upstairs, in the kitchen. The water got in, and we could never fully source it. Life is like a leaky roof. Life is like a leaky roof. What? That sounds, okay. Life is like sloping roofs. Still not it. Life is like flowing water. Doesn't sound as whimsical without the leaky roof part, but you never know where it's going to take you. You might be in a job right now that you hate. You have one life. Why be there? And you say, well, I have to pay the bills. I completely agree. You have to pay the bills. You need somewhere to live. You need to eat. If you have children, you got to take care. They need somewhere to live. They need to eat. Life is expensive. I completely understand. Your passion shouldn't supersede your safety. I wholeheartedly agree. What I don't understand is why people could love something and then choose to not do it. That's different. That's a choice. You've made a choice. If you could choose to do the thing that you love, but don't, that's on you. People message me all the time saying, I want to be famous. If you want to be an actor to be famous, it's never going to work for you. Your intention out of the gate is already wrong, and it's never going to work. Promise you. I promise you. From someone that has, you know what? Watch this. You see this? Oh, I get this. Okay. These are called sides. All right, like here it says Lost Boys pilot. These are all of the jobs that I auditioned for and I did not book. These, in this 1-inch binder, these are the jobs that I did book. So you guys see my IMDb. What do I have? 32, 33 credits. Credits like the show, the television show or the movie that I was in. So from 2013 to today, 2019, that's what I have booked. You want to be a dope engineer, plumber, nail technician, it's in you. It's 100%. You can 100% do it. I didn't say 99%. You 100% can do it. As long as you're not defying the laws of gravity. Like if your thing is to be a superhero where you fly from continent to continent, like, well, come on. That's not possible. But if you want to be an airline pilot or you want to work for Doctors Without Borders, I don't know how those two relate. But if you want to be in the air a lot and you want to help people, you can do that. Just gotta go to school. You gotta figure it out. You know, like I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my. Is it in your butt or in your mouth? In your. Oh my God. I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. But how did I still come back to saying but? I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth by any measure. But as a teenager, I realized, you know what, you have a bit of an appetite for like the finer things in life, and your mom's not going to give them to you, so you're going to have to work. So Jamie from very young realized that Jamie needed to work for it. When I sold my stores, instead of living out of my savings, the choice was, okay, do I liquidate the money that I have so that I can keep appearances up and drive this car? Or do I get rid of the car? When I got rid of the stores and started acting, I had to make the choices that were hard because you had to let go of a lot of the ego. You had to let go of, you can't be proud. And I did whatever I had to do so that I could achieve this goal. So oftentimes people look and they just see the end result. I mean, I haven't made it yet. I'm going to. I'm doing it. But people often look at the end result, but they never see the journey. I didn't just get here. I worked to get here. I ground to get here. I cried a lot along the way. The average person will go on, say, 3 to 5 job interviews, and then, you know, land one of them. With acting, I could have 3 to 5 interviews, auditions every week, and book none of them. Week after week. Month after month. So if this video can motivate you towards taking the necessary steps to do the thing that you love in life, perfect. Perfect. Like the disclaimer said, please don't just go quit your job tomorrow and then not be able to pay your rent or your mortgage or feed your kids. I don't want you to do that, but I want you to make a calculated decision. I want you to say to yourself, I hate where I'm at, and I know where I want to be, and think of one as a starting point and one as an end point, and then map out the lineage of what needs to be done to get you to your end goal. But sitting back, hating your job where you're at 8 hours of the day, that's crazy to me. I always say, like, the number one thing is acting. It sounds simple, but it's doing something. A lot of times people will just think. You'll just think, oh, I want to do this, or I want to go here, or I want to work here, or I want to obtain that. But you just think about it. You never actually act towards it. And the thought of it is, you know, part of the battle, I suppose. But if you're not actually actively doing anything to achieve said goal, then you're really selling only yourself short, because nobody else cares. Nobody else cares about your dreams. Nobody. So if you don't care, then I actually had this Instagram post not too long ago where I had this analogy about swimming. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna read it. Imagine your end goal being on the other side of a body of water, a large body of water, where what looks like the horizon is actually you receiving whatever it is you've been working towards. Now imagine I told you this. You cannot drown under any circumstances as long as you keep swimming. You're swimming against strong, turbulent current, but you will not drown if you keep swimming. The second you stop swimming and start doggy paddling, you will be swept back to the shore. You will look at how much further you must now go, and you will likely stop. Quit. That could probably be one of the most insightful things that I've ever thought and written, because it's so true. If I told you that you could not drown under any circumstances as long as you kept swimming, would you ever think to stop? I mean, some people maybe, but why? You're not going to drown. You will eventually get to what looks like the horizon, but in this particular analogy, is the thing that you want. That goal you're trying to accomplish. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. But you know what you have to do first? You have to get in the water. So if you don't ever get in the water, then the thought of swimming is moot, and the idea or ideology of you ever actually getting to that horizon or your end goal is impossible. So jump in the water. All right, so we have Michael Jackson impersonator, Paperboy, DJ. Then we have dishwasher at the keg. Forgot Rihanna's roti where I washed dishes and was front of shop help. Stock shelves and customer service at London Drugs. Then I went on to Bell Mobility, which I actually forgot before. We have Rogers Wireless customer service, then management. Then I worked TD Canada Trust. Then I started my own business. And then I started acting. So as cliche as it may sound, if I can do it, so can you. Thanks again, guys, for watching. Make sure you subscribe, hit like, tell a friend to do it all, tell your dog walker. I always say dog walker. I don't even know any dog walkers. Tell your nail tech. Oh, eyelashes are everything. Tell your eyelash tech. Are they called eyelash techs? Tell the elderly person that you read to at the old age home if you volunteer. Tell everybody. Tell everybody. Thanks for watching, yo. I'll see you guys next week.